What's good, everybody? Coming to y'all with another video. I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible, as usual. Um, I saw the movie Sinners. I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Definitely not the greatest movie I saw, but definitely the best movie of the year so far. I thought it was an overall solid film, so I recommend y'all check it out. Now, the reason I'm making this video is because I see a lot of people confused about what the movie was trying to tell you. You got a lot of these content creators or these woke conscious people, explaining something from the movie that's not actually what the movie was trying to tell you. And again, a lot of y'all might consider what I'm trying to tell you as being conscious, but it's really not. Again, this is a spoil review, so if you haven't seen it already, I recommend you click off the video. Now, if you have seen it and you are familiar with this channel, I like to speak about the book of the law, which is the Old Testament. This movie called Sinners, notice that the movie is called Sinners for a reason. It's because everybody in this movie, the characters in this movie, they were doing things that go against the Lord. Most importantly, they were breaking the commandments that the Lord gave Moses. That's literally the concept of the fucking movie. But a lot of y'all let this go over your heads. Y'all let it go over your heads. Let me explain, right? Let me explain why I say this. These are the commandments that the Lord gave Moses. If you watch the movie Sinners, what were they doing? What was they doing? The guy who played the guitar, he was disobeying his father. That was one of the commandments broken. Not honoring your father or your mother. That was a commandment broken. Because remember, his father told him not to follow his cousins. And the boy made that. I don't want to call him a boy, but the guy made that whole song about his father, how he lied to his father and all that. That's one of the commandments broken, right? You saw black people all in the church. Let me explain this to Christians, right? It is a reason why when you watch a lot of movies, especially Hollywood movies, you always see the cross or the Christianity. They always displaying black people in a church because that is breaking the commandment. Christ is not the Lord. This is one of the commandments he gave Moses. He said, I am the Lord, your God, who brought you out of Egypt, out of the house of slavery. You must have no other gods before me. Before is another word for beside me. That means you are not supposed to worship anyone or anything but the Lord himself, who is the God of heaven. You're not supposed to worship nothing. You're not supposed to worship angels. You're not supposed to worship the creatures he made. You're not supposed to worship the stars above, the sun, or anything like that. Do not make for yourself an idol. So, yes, black people being up in the church and worshiping Christ was a broken commandment. The twins, right? I think their name was Smoke and Stack. What were they doing? What was they doing the entire movie? They were killing man, robbing, stealing. It's the same thing, robbing and stealing. That's one of the commandments broken. Do not kill. Do not steal. They were doing that in the movie. We can go deeper, right? You know, divination. Let me show y'all this. Again, I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible, yo. I can't remember what verse it is directly. I'm gonna find it though, but y'all know what I'm talking about. So in the movie, one of the brothers was having a relationship with a woman who practiced voodoo, and he even made a joke. I wouldn't even say a joke, but he even said like, you be doing all this witchcraft and all that, and you be saying how it protects me, but how come it didn't protect the people I love and or anything like that? And then you saw in the movie that all that shit that she was doing, it didn't really protect them. This is one of the things that the Lord was trying to tell the people of Israel at that time, the Israelites at that time. One of them was having an interracial relationship. Again, I talked about that on my channel. It's in the book, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let me show you this. So, right here, Leviticus 19 and 31. They were doing this. They were conquering up spirits. What else? The guy, let me show y'all who I'm talking about. If he in one of these thumbnails. How can I go to the cast? Where you at, man? This guy right here. So if you notice in the movie, he had a crush on this woman, and this woman told him, like, yo, I have a husband. But my man didn't care. He didn't care that she had a husband. He kept being precise. He kept, I wouldn't say chasing after her, but he kept, applying that pressure. Ended up fucking this married woman. So in the movie, it made it seem like, oh, this guy was like this great musician. This is why these vampires was coming for him. But in reality was he was doing a fucked up thing by committing adultery. Again, committing adultery. Sleeping with another man's wife. And this is another reason why she ended up dying too. Why she got affected. That was the whole purpose of the movie, yo. It's because everybody in this movie called sinners were doing things that was an abomination to the Lord. Even my man's right here. Let me show y'all. They don't have the whole fucking cast on here. Let me show y'all what I mean real quick. Cause a lot of y'all be acting like y'all don't know shit. Where the right here. My man's right here. For those that don't know, you know why he got affected? It's because he was gay. Now, you might be wondering how he gay. He didn't show no relationship in the movie. But if you heard him talking when they was inside of the fucking club, you know what I'm saying? He was talking about how this man was going down on him. And everybody in the movie theater is like, yo, what the fuck? This is why it's called sinners, yo. Because they were doing things that go against the God of Israel, the house of Judah. It was the small level of detail that matters. A lot of y'all just think I be talking, man. I'm trying to think what else, yo. It was a lot. It was a lot for sure. Right here. I'm trying to remember that one scene. This was another one. Desiring your neighbor's house or your neighbor's wife. Again, I don't want to make it too long, but anybody who's seen the movie and you feel like I don't know what I'm talking about, comment below. Even the whole snake part, the whole snake thing, right? When the twins and the cousin they were riding around in the field, where the so-called slaves were picking cotton. Now remember, a slave means a servant. It means a worker. But anyway, it had a snake, and they were scared of the snake. The snake is supposed to symbolize the fucking devil. But like I told y'all on my community page, or like I said in my videos, the serpent in the Garden of Eden, he wants you to believe that he's the fucking devil. And he wants you to believe that he's a snake. He's not a fucking snake, man. I'm not even about to waste my time even. Man, I ain't about to waste my time explaining all this, yo. But my man's is not even a snake. See, they just put that in there to confuse the reader. A snake never had legs. Snake don't have legs, my nigga. So it, they just different Bibles. One say snake, one say serpent. The serpent is the name. Just remember that. But that's all I wanted to say, man. That was the whole purpose of the movie. The whole purpose of the movie was all these people were in the movie committing sins, doing things that goes against the Lord, right? Worshiping false idols like Christ and committing all these laws and commandments being broke. And these so-called evil spirits were targeting them, but they try to make it seem like it was because they were playing music. That's all I gotta say, y'all. I'm out.